Welcome all. So now in this session we'll take a look at usability testing, and the tagline is, before we fall in love with our own designs, let's find out what really our users are thinking about it. So usability testing, if you take a look at the description of an usability testing, it is a technique used in user-centered interaction design to evaluate a product by testing it on users. This is what you will see in wiki. So in mobile testing world, usability testing is really an important concept, and any product that goes to market has to be usability tested in my views. There are different ways of usability testing practiced by many companies, and I wanted to bring out a process that you could follow and plan your usability testing with. So sorry about that. There are different testing types are available. Some of the famous methodologies which I wanted to bring it to your notice is Hal Way of Testing and moderated usability testing, which you can pursue in your organization. So 5 famous types are there: Hal Way of Testing, remote usability testing, expert review, automated expert review, and A/B testing. So in that, the first testing type which I wanted to take in this session is Hal Way of Testing. Set of people invited to test the product, engaged in the early stages of design and product. We shall invite new company employees to perform this test. This is a pilot test before performing the actual usability testing. So this will evaluate our test protocol and test methodology. You can sit in a hall or a conference room and call people who not really taken a look at the product yet, probably new employees, or probably people, for example, you are testing few features in Android. You can call up iPhone users or Windows Phone users, and you can give them the product and then tell them that they are going to do usability testing, and you are not going to evaluate their technical ability, how they test or how their views are right or not. So you should really convince them that they are into an usability testing, and you are not really evaluating them. That is the first phase of this method. Then you will have a test protocol, and how you are going to conduct this test. It will be a printout in your hand, and I'll showcase you the test protocol in some other later slides. And you will ask different questions, and they will answer that, and you will record that. So obviously when you are conducting the usability testing, you are actually the moderator, and you should have a scribe or an observer with you, and the usability tester whom you are doing the usability test with will have either the actual product or demo of a product or few screens that drawn in a paper or something. So you can cut different papers in that size of the phone, and then you can draw the screens in there, and there are multiple methods. You can bring out the actual wireframes into a viewable design, and then you can ask different questions to them. The other one is moderated usability testing, which we will take a look at that little bit later. Let's talk about sample size, and so how many people you should really invite and perform this usability test. So the more number of people you call up to usability testing, they will point out the similar kind of problems. If somebody feels that the button is too small, and somebody feels that the color is little bit awkward, so they will if you invite 100 people, and most likely 90 people will tell you that the color is awkward, and same number of people will tell you that the button size is small. So usability testing can be performed with 7 to 10 people. That will be a really adequate number. So if you look at this particular screen, 7 people gave set of suggestions and 15 people not really surpassed that, meaning that because you are using 15 people, they will come out with different problems. No, it will not be the case. According to the industry, the most number of users we use, great possibility is that they will come across the same kind of usability problems. So we shall use 5 test samples at the beginning. 5 different people will evaluate your designs, and then it shall be 7 to 10 people at the max. Okay, so right now we are talking about Hal way of testing. So for example, you have a feature which is developed, and there is some demo screens which is in your hand, and you can call up to 5 people one by one, and you will evaluate the designs with them. So I am right now in the slide called test execution method, how you will really test. You call up a participant for usability testing. They sit next to you, and you have a design with you, and you will have also an observer with you who can take a note of different things happening around this usability test. So probably the product manager or the project manager's approval should be taken well before that you are actually conducting usability testing. So still we are talking about Hal way of testing, one of the methods. 2 methods we are going to talk about in this particular video, and one is Hal way of testing, another one is moderated usability testing. Right now I am talking about Hal way of testing, which is you are not really calling anybody else away from the organization. You are calling people within the organization, which will really help you to understand the usability testing better, and then you will go for moderated usability testing in a more formal way. So you will call the person, he or she sit next to you, and you will first tell them that this is not really a test to them to understand their technical ability, to showcase their technical ability. This is not the session to test the design itself. This is about how they feel about that design. So for that, the participant will think aloud, and they will talk about the problems they really face during that session. You should also talk to them and take their pre-approval and record their video. There are certain tools available, few stands, and you can use a webcam for this, because you are actually calling your people working in the same organization. They sit next to you, and then you will give them the design, and then you will ask few questions. So I'll just showcase a test protocol. This is a test protocol which you will make before you go for actual Hal way of testing or actual usability testing. There will be a question, and then there will be an expected response from the user, or an expected action from the user. Right now I took a sample called Nimbus, and you will ask them you will give them the task. You will tell them, you download Nimbus client and you do not have a username, please create a Nimbus account in this phone. You will give them the product, and they will have multiple questions, and the expected results, they supposed to tell you the expected result. So when the user opens Nimbus, so remember, they supposed to think aloud. When the user opens Nimbus and touches, I am a new user, you should ask, do you really found that creating a new account is easy enough? Did you really approach that faster? And is it visible enough in that screen? You will ask different questions like that, and then they will go on and keep the first screen in Nimbus is feeding your number, and they supposed to think, and they supposed to think aloud, and what they feel about that particular screen. And then they may ask that, can I skip it? Why there is no skip button? And then it will send an SMS. Then they will think, an obvious human will think like, how much time it will take to receive an SMS. If it is arrived quickly, then they will go on. If it is not, then they will ask you how much time it will take. And then there will be a call me option. They will ask, talk to you. They will ask, can I use the call me option now? So you will, the scribe or the observer will record each one of the responses from the person, and sometimes they will ask, feeding my number, will they use for any marketing purpose or something like that. So, and then it will give you another option, the Nimbus application, that upload your phone book or deny. So they will ask, is it mandatory? May I need to do that, or can I skip this? Something like that. So usability test moderator will have a printout of the tasks in a separate sheet, and you will give it to the user sitting with you, and you will have the expected replies, user actions with you, and you just need to validate that whether they are actually performing the expected results or something else. So is there any problem with them? So you will be really able to find out. Now I go back to the slide where what kind of testing we should perform. As I told you before, either Hal way of testing or moderated usability testing, or both you can perform. Hal way of testing will help you to write your test protocols, because when you go to Hal way of testing, you will really write the test protocols before, and then you will talk to them, and because your stuff is ready, so you will validate your own test protocol in there, and the problems they face, you will be able to record that, and you can improve your usability, your product or your designs. You can suggest to the product management at that time, and then you will perform the Hal way of testing one more time with another set of 5 people, and then you will come up with more scenarios that you will improve the usability, and then you can go for a moderated usability testing. Because moderated usability testing, you will be paying users, so that the users who comes to your office on some day, and they'll spend like 1 or 2 hours with you in a usability testing session, and they should be able to really express themselves in a usability testing session. So the description of moderated usability testing: we shall hire usability testers or real users via social media channels, or maybe you will call up some friends and you will evaluate them first. That is called screener. So you can Google it, screener in usability testing. So you will screen them. Like, you cannot bring up a person to inadequate person to test something which you really which they out of the box for them. Like, for example, there are different set of users for different products. An ATM machine, you should call up different people, a doctor or an engineer or a layman or a construction worker. So a product which is a chat app or a social media app, you will call students, and you will not really call for a chat app. You will not call somebody 50 plus or 60 plus. So the users has to be perfectly matching. That is how you will either hire them through a consultancy, or you will hire them through your friend circle, and then you will also need to adequately pay them or gift them. Products like government projects, or for example some products, for example a banking website, and you are calling to a government employee to check that whether they are capable of using the bank website in a smooth way. You may not really pay them money. Instead of that, you can give some kind of gifts and all that, but you should really check with them whether it's permitted or not, because it's illegal to pay government employees money or some gifts. So this is how it goes. Let's go back to the execution method. So as I said earlier, like, we do the Hal way of testing and then moderated usability testing. So while doing Hal way of testing, you will shape your test protocol in a much better way. And then when you go for real usability testing with outside users, your all your documentation will be perfectly set. And now I displayed a slide, features for usability testing. The sample application from Android market, for example, Nimbus chat application. So there certain core features are there, like creating an account and adding a contact, and for example Nimbus to Nimbus calling, which is free, and chatting with a Nimbus friend, buying Nimbux for sending gifts to another user, buying Nimbus out and calling a number, creating a chat room and joining a chat room. So you will directly approach the core features of that product, and you will do usability testing just that. You will not really test all the applications, all the functionalities of that particular application, because it is not a functionality test or it's not a feature test. It is a usability test where you test your design, whether it is really approachable by a user, or the learning curve of the user is going high when they start using the product. So this is how you should select the features for usability testing. And I already spoke about test protocol, and now we are in a session, we are in a slide called resource, tools and costs. Like, for example, in Indian context, for 25 USD per user is good, but in US it is at least $100 you should pay. And so for Nimbus, if you are really testing application like Nimbus, you will use softwares like MS Excel or then PowerPoints, and then you should buy either Captivate or Camtasia, which is cheaper, and then to record videos and then present it in a nice format. So that is how it goes. Lab setup, like the lab looks like that, and there is a user. Somehow the picture is not very good, but the user is sitting right next to the usability test moderator, and you can either use PC webcam or a designated a special cam to record this session, because you will produce this output to product management or the CEO of the company, and it is very important that you will take consent of your CEO, and then you should say that we are doing usability testing and which will improve the user experience much better, so that the CEO or the COO supports you in this. So this is how you will report, like, so there is a video and there is a mobile screen, and then there is an audio, and then this is how you will report screen by screen or feature by feature. It should be the separate presentations has to be produced to the usability produced to the product management. So when they think aloud, that should be recorded, and then if 4 or 5 people are feeling really bad about some feature, it will really push the product management to change that feature, change the designs. That is how you will really impress the product management. So this is how the overall execution path. You will initially plan and moderated usability test, and you will circulate with the product leadership or product management, and you will create a test protocol. What are all the features you are going to test, and you will get it approved by the product leadership, and also you will validate that with the function analysts whether those features are really important. Is that the features the company is focusing on? And you will also take an approval of for resources if you are doing moderated usability testing, and then you will for example, if you're buying a tool for recording video, or if you're buying a cam to record a video, you should take an approval for that. And then hiring resources. Then you make sure that you create a screener that these are all the people I want, and you will either circulate to a consultancy company to hire or your own HR, or you will only call, try to figure out where you will find the users, either from social media channels or from your known friends. And then you will schedule it. You will, for example, 2-3 usability testing sessions in one day you can have. So you'll schedule it. You will call them, like for example, in the morning you can have a couple of people, and then in the evening you can have a couple of people. You cannot do much more than that. And you will schedule it, and then you will tell them that this is the time you should arrive to the company, and once they come in, then you will make them feel comfortable, and then take them to the coffee, and then make sure that they will help you by thinking aloud. So that is how you will set the stage, and then you will start doing the test execution, and then you will record the video, and then you will analyze the video first, like what are the sections they really stressed certain points. So when product leadership takes a look, you can really specify them, like take a look at the video at 2:35, like that. So they will quickly navigate and to the core problems, and then you will create the analysis report, and then you will supply the videos along with that, and you will send a final presentation to the product management, product leadership. That is how you should end your usability test sessions. So since I had already taken a look at many usability testing concepts, and then I'm coming up with this particular session, you should also take a look at what is usability testing, and there is a nice wiki page about what is usability testing, and then there are documents, a lot of documents available in, for example, if you go to SlideShare, etc. You will be able to find a lot of documents. Why usability testing is really important is like because user have a lot of power in the smartphone world. If they don't like the application, it will not take more than 3 to 5 seconds for them to delete an app. So when you are testing a mobile app, then you will also really write a lot of usability suggestions by your own, and you will also perform a moderated usability testing. You should suggest your management to perform a moderated usability testing so that the product that reaches the market will not get any negative reviews. And because as I said earlier, in an iPhone it will not take more than 3 seconds, and in an Android phone not more than 5 seconds. So I request you to insist your management to perform a usability testing. There are good reads from Jacob Nielsen or Steve Krug. They wrote excellent books about usability testing, usability as a whole. So if you have time, you should really read some of the books and get updated about usability testing. So I hope this session is useful for you, and we'll see you